Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni is a man who knows a thing or two about special operations. General Kulkarni, can you give viewers your sense of the tactical and strategic situation on the ground, especially in the South Pangong sector? So far, the entire action was concentrated on the north bank of the lake. Now the Chinese coming in the south and the solid Indian pushback, which we also put out a statement. So we're not just taking military action in an attempt to seize the narrative and the initiative, putting out a statement saying that this happened on the 29th and 30th, even though it doesn't have much operational detail. General Kulkarni.
Rahul, at the very outset, I must tell you, the Chinese always believe in nibble and negotiate. If they believe in nibble and negotiate in this particular aspect of the South Pangong Tso action that we are talking about, there was adequate input coming in as to Chinese are likely to be doing something on the southern side of the Pangong Tso. Now, holding the northern side is okay. Now there is a fait accompli. It's from finger 8 to finger 4, going back to finger 5. Negotiations are going on, military level talks are going on. You find diplomatic engagements are going on. All of it is a waste. All the treaties are a waste because the Chinese are just taking us the garden path, and meanwhile they're trying to build up wherever they want to. Again, I repeat, had the Chinese succeeded in establishing a foothold on the southern bank of Pangong Tso, it would have been totally different. It would have been extremely difficult thereafter left to participated. The Indian army could prevent their having a foothold on the southern bank is the preemptive thing. And that is why the Chinese are now screaming away that Indians violated LAC. There was no contact, as I understand. There was no contact. There are no casualties. But it was adequate enough to push the Chinese on the northern bank and keep them on the northern bank. Had they come on the southern bank, let's presume that they had established a foothold on the southern bank, it would have been extremely, extremely difficult. Our situations would have gone really out of control.
Now, General Kulkarni, China using all manner of belligerent language in the statements that have been put out by the Tibet Theatre Command. Is that just, chest beating, or do you believe that the situation is so delicate that things could spiral out of control and it could take an ugly turn from here on?
What happens, Rahul, when the situation is extremely tense, there is no denying the fact. Situation is extremely tense. And when the talks are going on, the negotiations are going on, diplomatic engagements are going on, all of it are violated, and you go in for a total military provocative action, wanting to establish the foothold on the side which is not belonging to you at all. When we talk of Pangong Tso, there's finger 4 to finger 8. There's a water body, what you rightly said. 90 kilometers of it is in the Chinese side, 45 kilometers is on our side, of which again from finger 8 to finger 4, a distance of approximately 8 kilometers. You can say about that particular water body also they wouldn't let us get in. And now you find that they want to establish a foothold on the southern bank of Pangong Tso. If they intend doing that, we should never allow it. The very fact that you saw what Xi Jinping has said recently.
Okay, so let Jaidev Ranade build on that. There was a crucial meeting where Xi Jinping laid out his plans to integrate Tibet, as it were, more with the mainland, and also take on separatism and quell separatism. So how does this, first explain for our viewers who didn't follow what happened, Jaidev Ranade, what the Chinese president said, why this is crucial, coming as it does just 48 hours after China's big internal meeting on Tibet?
The 7th Tibet Work Conference which they have had, and it was presided over by the Premier, and Xi Jinping gave a speech where he in fact stressed the need to safeguard the borders. And let's not forget that he has already set up a scheme for establishing border defense villages all along the Indo-Tibet border. So he stressed that. He stressed the fact that they have to quell the monks and Tibetan Buddhism and adapt it to socialism with Chinese characteristics. In other words, basically Sinicize Tibet. But here I have a couple of other points which I would like to mention in the context of the discussions. Firstly, I maintain that the Chinese, when they came in with a bigger plan, and they had no intentions of trying to resolve the issue at a higher level. Therefore, the absolute silence from the top leadership of the Chinese on this entire episode. Neither Xi Jinping nor the Politburo members have said a word. As I mentioned also, the Western Theatre Command statement was very specific, and they used Chinese words to describe the locations and their effort was to try and project that India has violated, as they said again, the sovereignty of Chinese. So obviously they're trying to drum up the sentiments of the Chinese people